Welcome back to Robin Reviews. It's been a few days since I've done one. My apologies for that. I haven't been feeling the best. But lately I've been rewatching some of The Walking Dead. And so I'm going to do a few videos on The Walking Dead. And the first one I'm going to do is about who I find to be the most annoying characters. Now, I've seen all The Walking Dead, and I'm just rewatching it now. And so even though I think, currently in season 6, this is for the whole series. And yeah, these don't have to be good characters. They don't have to be bad characters. They're ones I find personally annoying. And then I think I'm going to do another one of the best characters, best seasons, all those things. And I'm going to stick just to the main show for this one. And I know it's a very disputable subject, and I know I think I actually Googled it, and I saw a list online that someone had done with the same exact topic of annoying characters, and they had like the governor on there, and I don't really understand that. Whiny, yeah. Flash in the pan, sure, but I don't know if I'd call him annoying. Another disclaimer, an honorable mention, because I would have put this person at the very top of my list, or near the top, through the first viewing of The Walking Dead. Carl's not on here anymore. Now, I mean, early on, yeah, he's got some moments when he seems to always just not do what he's supposed to do and not listen, and it gets him into trouble, and it gets him, shot at least once from not listening, and there's more. There's a few times that he gets injured, or at least they're not sure what happens to him because he's not listening, but he's a kid. And so I'm not going to completely fault him for being a kid. And so when I watched it again, I thought there's a lot of good qualities. And to be honest with you, the first time I watched it, now again, this helps if you've seen all The Walking Dead, it boggled my mind because maybe I just disjointed, or maybe it's because there's so much time in between watching it. But I mean, you go from the Carl, when they're getting ready to brace the prison for attack, and Rick sends him out with Herschel and Beth and Judith so that he's not there. And he's so mad at his dad because he can't be there. But then, he's the one asking for peace between Negan and Rick when you get later in the seasons. And so I think when it separated, I was starting to think it's just sloppy writing. But as I'm seeing the progression now, it's really just solid writing. And Chandler Riggs, came a long way in that role. I just saw the scene where... they think they're going to kill Negan to appease Hilltop and get some of their supplies, and Carl says, "I'm not going with you. We need to keep this place safe." And the look that Rick gives him just says it all. But again, solid writing. And so this is purely my personal biased top 5 annoying characters in The Walking Dead. I'm going to go in order. Now, number 5, so this is the 5th most annoying character. So number 1 is the most annoying character, just to give a little backstory. Number 5 is actually Shane. I just find Shane, it's not, when I say annoying, it doesn't mean like someone you just, you put your hands over your ears because you can't listen to them because their voice is annoying, although that might come up later in this list. Shane as a character is just annoying. No one is perfect, but he seems to do misstep after misstep and absolutely no guilt about it. There's no attempt there's just a very uneven character. And I get it. To some degree he's written that way, but I'm doing most annoying characters, not most worst jobs done by actors. I'm sure he played the part as he was supposed to, but I just find the character super annoying. And to the point where so many people were upset when he was killed by Rick, I was annoyed by them. It's like he there was nothing good he brought. Yeah, you could argue he kept everyone safe, but if you look at the longevity, he would not have been able to do what Rick did, and I can't remember who pointed that out. But it's true. What Rick was able to do, Shane would not have been able to do. So personally, Shane is the 5th most annoying character for me. Yeah. I'm not even saying I fault him on every decision he made, but it's just the culmination of everything as a character. Just, so annoying. I know a lot of people put Dale on their list. Dale's not on my list. Yeah, he can get... See, he's more like he can be annoying, but as an overall character, he's got such a good heart. I mean, look at how much Glenn learned from him. A couple episodes ago, is where Glenn showed Abraham where the battery is for the RV and just the little things. Yeah, he had some annoying parts, and it's kind of stupid how he stood up to Shane because how wild Shane was. But no, I wouldn't put Dale there. Number 4 for me, talking about Dale, though, is Andrea. I'm sorry. There's something about Andrea that I just can't stand. Ironically, the actress, and I'm blanking on her name right now, but the actress, when she was in the X-Files, I mean, which is hard to believe because you think of when the shows were. Great character on the X-Files. Just can't stand the character on The Walking Dead. Everything about her, the flip-flopping, just, it doesn't work for me. And so, and some of them have redeeming arcs, but there's just something, again, about her character that just does not work. Just always going out on her own, has to do her own thing. When she left the bathroom door open for Beth in season 2, I'm just kind of going like, what are you doing? Like, why would that seem like that's a good idea? I know, she said, she has to make the decision for herself. And yes, Beth makes the right decision, but it's just one of those character things, and you add in the Shane part and the governor part and how she treats Michonne, everything together, that puts her there. Now, my number 3 pick for most annoying is really, won't go over well with every fan. And by the way, before I get to number 3, usually when I do videos like this, where I don't have something physical to show, I like to show Funko, but I actually don't have any Walking Dead Funko. I probably should. I have through the years, and there's ones that I'd like to have again, like Abraham, little morbid, but the zombified, or the beheaded Herschel, I've always wanted Zombie Merle. There's one with Glenn with his red cap and the prison armor, and something for Rick anyway. But I don't have it right now, so that's why I did this background. Number 3, though, again, this might not go over well with everyone, but I find Eugene so annoying. I never like characters in shows who have this really awkward way of saying everything. Now, again, I'm not knocking the actor, how they've played the role, or the writing of the role. This is just who the character is. He's written this way. I probably acted great for what's written. I don't like it. I find it really annoying. I find that, as it doesn't really change at all. It doesn't really lessen as it gets on. I know he becomes useful and everything, and, and making some bullets and whatnot, but there's something about that character that just find super duper annoying, which is unfortunate, because when they came on the scene together, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita, had some really good potential. You thought, okay, this Eugene guy, he's definitely a certain type of guy, has a certain way of saying something, likes his pickles, but maybe he'll, come around, and he just doesn't for me. Now, the one thing I will say, is, for me, Eugene, Andrea, and Shane is my 3, 4, 5. They're miles below 1 and 2. Miles below them. There are 2 characters in The Walking Dead throughout its 11 seasons that I just find annoying beyond belief, and then the rest of them. And so, again, give me some grace there. My number 2, though, comes from Alexandria, and that is that boy, Sam. I just cringed every time he was on the screen. I knew what was coming. I know he caused, 3 deaths and an eye getting taken out. But everything about him, from that first, time when he catches Carol, and then, she scares him, and then the ants eating the cookie, and I know he's scared. I know he's a kid. But there's a huge difference between Sam as a kid and Carl as a kid. Carl as a kid, a lot of what I originally would have called annoying was him being a kid. Sam, there's just something about that kid. And again, the actor who played him, and I don't know the actor's name, but the actor who played him probably did a phenomenal job for what was written. He was probably written to be annoying and sniveling and scared of everything. Can't come downstairs, can't even come halfway down the stairs to get cookies. But it's just, okay, so annoying. So, and I feel bad calling a child annoying, but here we are. Okay, and remember how I said that 3, 4, and 5 were miles behind 1 and 2? Where 2 is miles behind number 1, and the most annoying character in The Walking Dead is Lori. I'm sorry, Sarah Wayne Callies. I mean, I loved you in Prison Break, but here it's just not working for me. And it's not even close. There's so much about the character. I mean, I know she thought Rick was dead, but even that decision-making was Shane. But what really got... And again, before my list was a little tighter, the same 5 people. But I didn't have as much disdain for the character of Lori as I watched it this time, because what really caught on to me was her flip-flopping between Shane and Rick, because there's that one scene, and I think it was in season 2, where they're in the tent and Lori's saying to Rick, Shane wants to take wants me, I'm yours, the baby's yours, what are you going to do about it? She's goading Rick into killing Shane. And then you fast forward and she flip-flops again and Rick does it, rightfully so, and she can't stand him. She cannot stand Rick. And I can't with her. The way she treats Rick, the way she treats Shane, I mean, no, she shouldn't have done what she did with Shane. But yeah, we can get into the whole thing about Shane thinking he's dead and everything, but there's just something about that character, Lori. And the other thing with Lori, and again, as much as I couldn't stand the character, really, really can't stand the character, I hate what The Walking Dead did with her death. For the longest time, I was probably the most annoying person on the planet because I was sure she was going to come back and be alive somehow. Because what really bugged me is, and I know it's supposed to be, implied, that one bloated walker ate her entire body, bones and all, in a few hours. But what really bugs me about that is, so you have to kind of suspend your belief. And so your belief would lead you to the fact that this bloated walker, who's starving, because they're in this jail, eats her. Fine. If you're going to do that, fine. But if you fast forward to T-Dog's death, which, by the way, T-Dog would be nowhere near any of my bottom lists on anything. He's got, 3, 4, 5 walkers about to attack him when he bravely makes way for Carol to get free. And it must be a day or so later, if not hours, fine, whatever you want to say, probably the same time before Lori would have been found to what T-Dog would have been found. And yet with 3, 4, 5 walkers or more in that area, they still find his body because they know it's him. And so that's where it's like, okay, I could have believed the bloated thing, but except for all the other evidence. I don't know if it's a contractual thing that they couldn't show her or what it was, or maybe it was just a gory thing, but there are sensitive ways that they could have done that, even showing this, the back of her head or something, but to kind of, do it in that way is not great. So yeah, so that's my top 5 most annoying characters. I'd love to hear what your most annoying characters are, and I know it seems like I'm only picking on the earlier ones because that's where I am, but I did actually go through IMDb. I stuck to characters who are in 20 episodes or more. I think Shane is the lowest. I think he's at 22. And I looked through IMDb, and I couldn't find anyone that would crack that bottom 5, I guess you'd say. And so soon I'm going to do a list with better actors. I'm going to do season lists. I'm going to do a few things. So if you watch The Walking Dead, let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.